Schwing here. What's up, friends? Happy to be in front of the camera again. Lord of the Schwing's coming to you guys. Got season projections tonight. Got some Mike Tyson's Punch-Out character comps for each of our teams, okay? I'm in the kitchen today. I'm going to zoom this way a little bit. This nice brick wall is going to be the frame where I learned how to put picture-in-picture on these videos. So when we get to the character comps, there will be a nice picture right here, okay? I also, when I talk about some players, I'm going to try to throw up a player picture up in there too. Trying to get fancy up in these videos now. So I'm excited, you guys. This is the last video I will be making, the full season projections. Last video I make until the Commissioner New Year welcome video. 2 years ago, I did, for our inaugural season, I did the NFL films in the background at school. Last year it was the robe, cooking some stuff in a pan. A banana. I don't even think anyone noticed I was cooking a banana in a pan in a robe, and then I welcomed you in to the house for the most wonderful time of the year. That was last year's video. This year I've got some other things cooking. I've got some ideas. I'm excited about it. I cannot wait to do that because that means football is back, and that is 2 weeks away. 2 weeks. It's Thursday night, guys. It is Thursday night. 2 weeks from tonight, football season starts. NFL football season starts. Less than that to college. It's like 9 days, maybe a week. Probably some games start next week, early. All right, but we're talking about Schwing Dynasty here. We're not talking about anybody else. Just Schwing Dynasty, just our projections. That, of course, brings in NFL players. But right now, we are talking about our teams, how we will finish, and then comparing you fools to the great characters of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. All right? That's what we're going to do today. So, I already did my season projections. Position group rankings. Those have changed slightly for this video. So I'm going to go through those first and kind of explain my system again. So what I did was I assigned points based on my position groups for you. I did not cover kickers and defenses. Sorry, Steve, you're not getting points for that again this year. I know he should, but I do not feel comfortable the way defenses scoring turns over year to year, even pretending to project that, okay? Last year I did pretty good on my projections, and my projections this year line up pretty well with Bert's little thing saying the power rankings for our league, okay? So don't forget, Sean, especially this is coming to you, this is for this year, okay? Jamar Chase does not look good. He is not helping your wide receiver group this year. I believe he will, but not this year. So let's go through some things that some rankings here, okay? The QBs did not change from my first projection, my position group rankings. They haven't. And what I did was I assigned the QBs points 1 through 10. Adam has the worst QB room, although really now with Trey Lance looking like he could take over that job, I kind of want to move him up, but it's not going to make a big difference either way between him and Steve. And since we don't know how long that's going to take, I'm still going to keep Adam at 10. So Adam gets 1 point, okay? Steve gets 2, Phil gets 3. These are the same rankings, the position group rankings from the last video. I'm not going to go through them all, but just clarify, Bert got 10 points for this. JD got 9, and that was his highest by far ranking, his only non-bottom of the pack ranking. Daryl 8, 7 points for me. 6 points for Sean, 5 for Mark, 4 for Lucas, 3 for Phil, 2 for Steve, and 1 for Adam. Right here, you will see either right there. Yeah, let's do that spot. I'll see if I can get that there. Burt gets 10 points. He's got Kyler Murray. That offense hasn't looked very good, but that's fine. He's also got Josh Allen. So Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, that's what we're going to do. That's what he's going to have, and it's going to be plenty for Bert to maintain that top position group. And I'm making a little note to myself to put that Josh Allen picture up, Kyler Murray picture up there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some notes for myself here about where in the time to put these pictures in. I'm still an amateur, guys. All right. that's QBs. So no change from the position groups and QB from the last one. There was change in the wide receiver group. Michael Thomas has been hurt, so Mark loses his top spot. That was a big part for him to have DK Metcalf and Michael Thomas. I had big plans. I did personally for Michael Thomas. Big plans for him. Is not going to play out as early as I want. He sounds like he's doing pretty good in his recovery, but Mark's losing that top spot, and he is dropping down from number 1 spot below Bert and below Daryl. So now Bert, another number 1 spot, he gets 30 points for this one. So for wide receivers, the range was 3 points per position because there's more of them and they can go into the flex and therefore they are more valuable. So wide receivers and running backs both were on a 30-point scale, okay? So I didn't just want to put them 1 through 10 and have JD's high quarterback ranking nix out the fact that, let's say, Steve is in the middle of the pack for wide receivers and running backs. That's more important to have 2 good running back and wide receiver rankings, and rather than just a good quarterback ranking. Okay, so I don't want those to even out there at all. So 30 points for Bert at the top of that, 3 points for Adam for JD at the bottom of that, 30 for Bert, 27 for Daryl. Steve passed me on this list. Steve passed me on this list because I promised this, Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers is back, Davante Adams is going to ball out, and so Steve passes me. I said he would in the position group rankings video. I said if I knew Aaron Rodgers was there, Davante Adams would raise Steve's crew up. Plus, I mean, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. So, it goes Bert for 30, Daryl for 27, Mark for 24. Steve almost passed Mark in this ranking. He probably should have, actually, but I didn't do it. 21 for Steve, 18 for me, 15 for Phil, 12 for Sean. Jamar Chase, not looking that good. That's where that Jamar Chase video hopefully goes, that picture goes. Maybe I should just do that every time so when I'm scrolling through, I can look for that and put a picture there. So, Jamar Chase, dropping passes, not looking good. I know, Sean, he's not one of your top 3, but your top 3 are not as good as the top 3 that's above you. So you have a future squad at wide receiver, maybe. Futures can be unpredictable. Doc Brown taught me that. Doc Brown, maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. After that, Lucas, 9 points. I love Calvin Ridley and his other dude. Wow. Mike Evans. Mike Evans. Got you, Lucas. I love Mike Evans and Calvin Ridley, but he just doesn't have enough after that. I think we talked about that last time. Adam with 6. Again, like his starting 3. Love CeeDee Lamb. JD at 3. So that's too bad, but it's where we're at. Okay. That's how those played out. Running back, Bert, 30 points. Cool. Then me. I'm still keeping that second spot with my kind of banged up crew, but I think by this year end, that's how I would project Gibson, Montgomery, Saquon, and yeah, still Darrell Henderson. Don't give me those Sony Michel's coming to take all of his touches. They're going to both get touches. He's going to be flex worthy at the very least, and that's all I need him to be a very big part of my team. So I'm still at 27, second place on there. Then Lucas. Then there's a big shuffle. I moved Steve and Sean up, and I moved Mark down below both of them. So it had been Mark in 4th place. I don't feel good about Cincinnati. They're not going to be able to stop people. They have to throw a lot. Joe Mixon, I love him, but I just don't feel good about it. Chris Carson, I'm just cooling a lot on Chris Carson. Not that he won't be great, but he's so injury prone. He's older. They want to run the ball, but I feel like they're going to spread it out more this year in terms of their running backs. And Russell Wilson's going to take touchdowns away with his legs and in the red zone. They may not throw for enough yards to get Russell Wilson MVP. I mean, he might not be throwing for 4,000 yards, but he's going to be efficient, hyper efficient with his passing and his work with his legs. And he will stop those running backs from being rated where they could be, I suppose, in this offense. So I drop Mark down. So Steve gets 21 points, Sean gets 18, and Mark drops to the 15-point spot, the sixth best. Yeah, that's right, sixth best. I didn't count. Then Phil, okay, Alvin Kamara. Put that on my little thing here. 10-20, Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, great. What else, man? Kareem Hunt. Yeah, it could be awesome. Could be. But it just stinks to put a Alvin Kamara group down that low. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. It's hard to do. But if I could rely more on DeAndre Swift, but he's banged up, who knows? They like Jamal Williams there, apparently. So we'll see. But I feel like that's one that I could have wrong. Definitely. I could have all these wrong. But I feel like Phil's could be wrong just because Kamara could be insane. Number 9, Daryl. Another tough one. Nick Chubb, Myles Gaskin, Chase Edmonds. All of whom could make this look like a foolish spot. I get it. I know. That's all I got to say about it. Number 6 points for Adam. 2 points, 3 points for JD. Okay? Sorry, JD. Always with that. Sorry, JD. Okay. Steve, number 1 tight end. Now, tight ends, the top 4 tight ends, usually are just so much more valuable than the other tight ends. It could be top 3. It sort of is top 4 right now. I gave Sean's pick the benefit of the doubt. So what I did was, the top tight end is Steve's, Kelsey, got him 14 points. Second is Darren Waller. He's still the focal point of that passing game in the Raiders, and that gave me second place with 13 points. And then Bert with George Kittle, 12 points. Sean with Mark Andrews, 11 points. And then from there, I dropped to where they would normally be in a 1 through 10 scale. So that brings Phil in with TJ Hawkinson at number 6. Could be one that I'm just totally wrong about. It really could be. It's the Lions. There's a stink about them. Mark gets 5 points. Dallas Goedert, Godare. Adam, bing. Kyle Pitts, 4 points. Could be foolish looking at the end. Okay? Let me see. That'd be at about 12:40. I'm putting a Kyle Pitts picture in there. Thanks, Crayon. Okay, number 3, Lucas. I wish I could tell you who Lucas's tight ends were, but I can't. Moving on. 2 points for Daryl. I know he's got Noah Fant. I know that one's in there. And JD, Hunter Henry. Yeah. All right, that's 1 point. Good. All right, so what this comes down to with all of these points combined, I have my stats-based, not really, my calculated season projection that I gave from all the points you got for those position groups, okay? Coming in last place hot with 16 total points, JD. JD, I am projecting you to finish last place in our league this year, but it's close because one spot ahead of you with 17 points is Adam. Now, I think Adam's team could be a lot better than JD's. I think when they meet, Adam will win, especially if he gets his quarterback position filled out. But with the rankings, JD ends up at 16 points, Adam at 17. I'm not going to surprise anyone here. Bert's at the top, and he has 82 points. So that's a spread between Adam and JD, and then Bert. 16 for JD, 17 for Adam, 82 for Bert. Yeah, that's a spread right there, fellas. I don't know if you're closing that gap this year. Let's just say that. Next up, this one's rough because this guy made the semifinals last year, made the playoffs, but I have him in 8th place finishing this year, and that's Phil with 33 points. Now, Big Ben could change this big time. DeAndre Swift could have a big season that could change this. Julio and A.J. Brown freak me out still. Justin Jefferson's amazing. Alvin Kamara's amazing. I could see Phil making the playoffs again. But his depth is so questionable. He can't... I lost Saquon last year and was the number 3 team in the league, something like that. Phil can't take that loss, okay? Phil can't take that loss. So he comes in right now at 8th. I said 3 from the bottom because I'm counting up. Comes in at 8th for our league right now. And I don't like it. That's where my numbers took me, okay? Last year I started making crazy changes. It said Lucas was low. My projections said Lucas was low, and I moved him up artificially. But I don't want to do that this year. Apologies for that. It says Phil's 8th. That's where I'm leaving him for now. Okay. I have to stop this video for just a moment because my wife is texting me because God knows why. All right. I'm going to pick up right where I left off at Phil. Okay. Good. Got that taken care of. All right, guys. So we're moving on now to the 7th place team in our league by my projections, by my position group rankings, and that is Lucas. Very similar to where he finished in my projections last year. Last year I moved him up because I said Christian McCaffrey is too good to have him down this low. And what happened? Lucas got last place. So I'm not doing it again this year. In fact, the opposite might happen. Yeah, I love Christian McCaffrey, and yes, he can help Lucas a lot. No depth at wide receiver, limited depth at running back. Justin Herbert better be amazing at quarterback, and his tight ends suck. So, no. Lucas is coming in at 7th. I really believe him and Phil should be switched in this, but that's what my projections have Lucas at. 7th place, okay? 6th place, another hard one for me to accept. And it's close from here for the next 3. The next 3 are very close, separated by 4 points, okay? Daryl. Daryl comes in at 6th for me in my projections. I believe Daryl's team is better than Mark's team. I do. I will stand by that. That's how I will have them finishing in my just personal projections. But in my calculated projections, Daryl is 6th. He still makes the playoffs. He is out of the toilet bowl, but he makes 6th place with 46 points, okay? So let's go over that again. JD 16, Adam 17. Phil had 33. Lucas with 40. So there's a big jump from Lucas up to Phil there, or Phil up to Lucas. And then Daryl has 46, okay? And so that's 6th place going to the playoffs and would be a dangerous playoff team. 5th place goes to Mark at 49 points. That is a one where, yeah, Lucas and Daryl, or Daryl and Mark, I would switch. I would be switching those. Probably nothing against Mark. It's just the consistency when all your players are on one team. You just can't rely on that week to week. We'll see what the Seahawks do this year. Obviously, it's the Seahawks. If you're going to have them on a team, Seahawks is a good one to have. They're going to score a lot of points. But still, I like diversified portfolios for fantasy players, and Mark don't have it very much. So I do like the returning Joe Mixon, though. It's going to help him. It will help him, but Cincinnati's going to have to throw a lot. So, okay. Mark with 49 is in 5th place. Sean comes in at 4th place with 50 points, one more than Mark. Here's a tier break right here. It's Mark, Daryl, and Sean are in a tier, okay? End of that tier starts after Sean, who has 50 points, and it jumps up to Steve with 58 points, okay? So that's an 8-point jump up to Steve. A pretty good jump in these rankings. Steve coming in, 58 points. He's got Derrick Henry. He's got questions at quarterback. Questions at quarterback are really why Steve isn't here. Even if he had a star quarterback, though, his lack of depth at running back, the aging of his running backs, the lack of depth at the developing depth of wide receiver could be really, really good depth. If Jerry Jeudy figures his stuff out, Steve's wide receiver room could be even better. I did move Steve's wide receiver room up, of course, like I said, to 4th place in our league. So Steve is still strong, okay, right now. 58 points. I am one spot ahead of him with 65 points. This comes from having the 4th rated QB room, the 5th rated wide receivers, the 2nd rated running backs, and the 2nd rated tight ends. Just consistently in that upper group, top 4, top 5 at each position, gets me to 65 points. I was a little surprised by that. When I was putting together, I was like, Steve's going to have higher points than me. In my heart projections, I'm going to put Steve ahead of me, which we're going to go through in a second. And then lastly is Bert. Fucking 82 points. Whatever, man. I'm just going to call him Slut from now on. Slut has 82 points. Okay, he's a dirty slut. He has 82 points. Favorite to win the Slut. Okay, yeah. Anyways. All right. That's the ratings based on the position groups and how I've done this. It was pretty good last year, actually. My rankings were pretty close. I moved some players up artificially. I think I moved up Sean too high. I moved up Lucas too high. And it didn't work out. They both made the toilet bowl. So not going to do that as much, but in the adjusted list, in my heart list, my adjusted list, Bert's still at the top. I can't deny that. And then I did switch Steve to 2nd and me to 3rd. Now, I don't love it. I think I could definitely... I think I could win this thing. I think there's a few of us that could really win this league without major catastrophes happening to every team around them. Anyone who makes the playoffs can, I would say. So my top 6 is Bert, Steve, me, Sean, 4. So he stayed 4 in both rankings. Daryl at 5th and Mark at 6th. Those two did flip. And then Phil at 7th, first team in the toilet bowl. Easily could see Phil over Mark for the playoffs, or Phil over anyone who falters. Phil could be right there to take it. Then Lucas, Adam, and JD. I don't think there's much doubt that Adam and JD are at the bottom of the league at this point. Adam with the best chance to beat his position, his projection, out of the two of them. Okay? So that's it. Those are the rankings. Now, we're going to get into something a little sillier now that those are over, but I feel like I need to watch this at the end of the season and see don't let me forget that. I need to watch this back at the end of the season, see how I did. And if not, you guys watch it back at the end of the season, tell me how I did. Tell me where I got it wrong. I'm sure you will. All right, now on to Mike Tyson's Punch-Out player comps for our... Oh, this is a new time. Dang it, doesn't matter. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out player comps for our teams. Okay. Number 1, the first guy we're going to talk about is Mr. JD. He's not going to be happy with this one. So it turns out, and I did not know this, there are only 10 antagonists in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out that are not Mike Tyson. So I had to assign each one of them to one of us, which meant Glass Joe had to be assigned. Therefore, JD is Glass Joe. Glass Joe, look at this guy. Okay, I've seen people lose to Glass Joe. It does happen. It's not very often. It kind of looks like he peed his pants, which kind of fits JD's old aged roster. So Glass Joe, somewhat of an easy knockout. Yeah, sure, he's got Lamar. I'm not scared of any of the moves, though. I'm not scared of any of that. When I face JD, if I don't get the W, it's going to be a devastating week. So that's like if you lose to Glass Joe, you're throwing that controller. So JD, you are Glass Joe. Sorry, buddy. Next up on our list, I'm going to do this for myself. So when I'm looking at it, I know I'm number 2. And this is Adam. And he's going to be Von Kaiser. Okay? Silly looking. That's not really why. He's got Zeke on the roster. Okay, that's the Von Kaiser right uppercut. That's my left hand, the right uppercut. CeeDee Lamb can make this a tougher fight than you'd expect, but you're probably getting away with the W on this one. it's just an old-timey boxer. There's not a lot to it. There's not a lot there. So the mustache is cool. Kind of reminds me of Zeke's facial hair. So that helped too here. So Adam, you, sir, are Von Kaiser. Okay. I don't know. This is so dumb. Those are the 2 lower ones. Now it gets weird. It was kind of weird to set these up. I thought it'd be easier. Lucas, you are the first iteration of... Sorry, you're number 3 on this list. You're the first iteration of Piston Honda. Okay? Piston Honda, this guy. I hope there's actually a picture there. Otherwise, I'm going to keep pointing at this brick wall here. It's in my kitchen. Yeah, Lucas, you are Piston Honda. You've got what's called, and I didn't know this, the Honda Rush Attack. That's what his famous, I think it's like that or something like that. That just looked like a jab, but that is the Honda Rush Attack. My God, my wife is calling me again, you guys. Okay, hold on. Okay, Lucas, yes. So Piston Honda, he's got the Honda Rush Attack. I can't remember. It's something like it, but it's powerful. And that's Christian McCaffrey. That's what you got. Remember, this is just the first iteration of Piston Honda, not the second one. He gets way tougher. You're just not bringing enough to stop the better teams from getting the W if they bring their average game, though. I mean, yeah, Piston Honda can beat you. He certainly can. Lucas can beat you. But I'm not. It's not like going up against someone who has a bunch of different moves. You know, it's like Calvin Ridley and Christian McCaffrey. And aside from that, I'm not too worried about it. So, I guess it's good that they got James Robinson figured out, but yeah, I don't know. So that's what we got. Piston Honda. Okay, that's you. I hope it's still there. So things getting interrupted by unnecessary stuff. We'll just say that. Okay, now on to the next one. Sean, Don Flamenco. Boom, Don Flamenco. This guy right here. He looks flashy and he thinks a lot of himself. But you can slap this guy around, okay? That's Don Flamenco, that's Sean's team. Sounds good on paper. He believes a lot in it. Down the road, I'd say yes, and that's the other key to this being Don Flamenco. That dude shows up twice in this game. The second time is way more difficult. First time, you get one of his little silly like uppercuts out of the way, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then you can just like boom, 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 just knock him back and forth. And that's Don Flamenco. Second time, you think you're doing that, then all of a sudden he blocks it, exhausts you, and punches you in the face. So, he can really put some hurt on you on the second one. And I think that's kind of true of Sean's team. It's getting better. We see a lot of growth in Sean's team. But as of now, looks flashy and thinks highly of himself, and that's the main reason he's Don Flamenco. Not necessarily the difficulty of fighting him or beating him. It's the grandiose nature of the whole thing, I suppose. Get the rose in his mouth and all that stuff. Look at this guy. All right, so Don Flamenco, that's Sean. Next up, Phil. Phil, you poor bastard, you got King Hippo. King Hippo, right here. Yeah, King Hippo's throwing haymakers. Okay, Phil's coming at you, like I said, with Kamara, AJ Brown, Julio, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's the real key here. If he hits you with Kareem Hunt, he can knock you out in a hurry. You get duped into thinking he's done, and all of a sudden he punches you and you're down. But he's got a soft belly, and he's got the walking wounded DeAndre Swift. He's got that big bandage on his tummy. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. You can wear this guy down with shots to the stomach, okay? His pants keep falling down every time he tries to do something. So, Phil, you are King Hippo. You're tough. You guys are big. Some of them, I guess. Big Ben's on your team. That works. But susceptible to woundedness, older players. I think Justin Jefferson's the dark horse here. Not the dark horse, but the key, the pivot point for your team. How good can he be? So, Phil, you're King Hippo. All right? And on we go. Coming up next, Daryl. Daryl, I had trouble with this one. There's a couple directions I was thinking about going for this one. I thought about going Mark's direction, the one I'd pick for Mark, but I went with the Great Tiger for Daryl. Okay, cool name, first off. So you're lucky you got the Great Tiger, better than a lot of these other names. I'll find a place to put my foot here. But why the Great Tiger for Daryl? Because he's slippery, he's fast. Tyreek Hill calls himself the Cheetah. That guy's called the Great Tiger, but I swear he has a cheetah around his neck in the pre-fight pictures. I think it's a cheetah, and I don't know why he calls himself Great Tiger, because I'm pretty sure it's a cheetah. He's got Tyreek, he's got Steph Diggs. He can teleport around the field like those two dudes can seemingly do. Gaskin and Edmonds, they may be small, but they can pack a little punch. Quick hits, they sneak jabs in. However, he doesn't hit you with his teleport punch. If he doesn't get you with that, he's left, and you can knock his ass out. Okay? That teleport punch is the tandem, Mahomes and Tyreek. That's the teleport punch. If he doesn't get you with that, you can knock him out. And that's why I went with the Great Panda. Just joking. The Great Tiger for Daryl. Here he is. Great Tiger. Okay? I love this next one so much. All right, Mark's turn. Mark is up. Bald Bull. I'm giving Mark the Bald Bull here. Mark is a bit of a bull in a china shop if you've ever been around him. Nothing's safe. Nothing's safe when Mark's around. I think Lucas might have been the first one I heard describe him as a bull in a china shop, and it's very true for Mark. He is. So he's the Bald Bull. There he is, Bald Bull. The bull charge is really the reason for this, though. As funny as it is that Mark's the Bald Bull, the bull charge is the reason for this. It is a devastating attack, and it's the Seahawks. One hit and you're done. Okay, if the Seahawks hit, if they score 40 points in a game, you're not beating Mark. We're talking weekly high score, devastating when the Seahawks hit. But if you stop that, he's just a big bald idiot, and you're going to knock his ass on the ground very fast. And when he's lying face down on the floor like Bald Bull does, he looks kind of like a sausage. Cut into two, like one of those sausages when it cuts open. Play the game. Looks like a sausage. So Mark, you're the Bald Bull. There he is. This guy. Okay. But man, that bull rush, that thing, if you don't get the timing right on that, oh man, you are so frustrated. That's like throwing the controller across the room for sure. Back when the controllers were connected, so the machine goes with it. All right, next one up. I almost went with this one for Mark just to make it mad. Soda Popinski, the commie guy, the Russian. I almost made Mark the commie just to make him mad. But I give it to Steve. Steve, you are Soda Popinski. Okay? It just didn't fit for Mark as much as I wanted to do it. Soda Popinski's main move is called the juke triple move. Okay? It's a triple juke. 3 attacks coming at you that make you confused. Adams, Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, and Austin Eckler. That's the triple juke move. Okay? Those 3 are his big 3, his big moves. They're very good, and they are his best chance of winning. Which is, I'm forgetting Travis Kelce on that. That sucks. All right. Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, and Travis Kelce. Still works. Maybe. However, like the Soviet Union in 1987, when getting deep here, you guys came for the deep cuts, you're getting them. Like the Soviet Union in 1987, when Mike Tyson's Punch-Out came out, Steve's team is on the verge of falling off. His best players are all old as hell. Deshaun Watson may never play football again. He probably will. He'll play for someone eventually. But Derrick Henry, is this the last hurrah? Is he going to be an outlier and play to his 30th season the way he plays? Eckler already faced some dinged up seasons last year and he's 26. Travis Kelce's 31, 32. 32? I think 32. Is this it? Is this the last hurrah of the Soviet Union? I don't know. But Steve, you're Red Steve now. And beware the death throes of Red Steve, because those are some powerful hits. Oh my goodness gracious. She's calling again. Okay. She's about a printer. About a printer, guys. You know, I'm a printer genius. I know everything about them, so I can understand the need to call. So, alright. Let's get back into this. Next up is me. And I'm Mr. Sandman. That's right. Even though I have Steve finishing ahead of me, and Mr. Sandman is technically the harder fight than Soda Popinski, it just fit better because my team's lack of a number one overall, like a clear name. Yeah, I've got Saquon, Darren Waller, but you know they're number one at their position. Okay, so my team's lack of like a clear number one threat lulls you to sleep, but the Dreamland Express, which is the name of the Mr. Sandman's his main hit, it keeps getting you, keeps hitting at you, keeps coming at you. I come at you with Gibson, Montgomery, Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, Waller, Robinson, blah blah blah. And then I can turn to Dak and eventually Saquon for the knockout punch. Surprisingly tough, despite the fact that you don't look at this and say, there's the number one. Like I said, I wasn't number one in any position group, and yet I finished number 2 in the overall rankings. Consistent, just come at you. So I'm Mr. Salmon, I lull you to sleep, and then I knock you out. But not the toughest guy on the block. And that, of course, goes to Steve, to Bert. Ooh, maybe a little slip there. Maybe Steve is the toughest, just like last year he was. Bert, we're going to give him Super Macho Man, okay? Yeah, he's not Tyson. Here's Mr. Macho Man, Super Macho Man. Those boobs he's got. He's not Tyson, but it's the closest we got. No one's Tyson. Few weaknesses. Very few weaknesses. He hits you similar ways to Soda Popinski, but just way tougher, way faster. And more ferocity. So, yeah, he's no Tyson. He's just as close as we got, and that's Bert. So, not very funny. Kind of a bummer. Anyways, alright, you guys. That's it. That's your character comps for Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. All of his separate parts. I know it's all going to come together into one thing, but for me it feels like it's been very disjointed. It's much darker outside than it was at the beginning of this. So that's it. The last video I will make before the season welcome video, the season start video. The commish welcomes you, and then projections and results. That's what we have from then on, guys. All right, Papa Schwing out. Love you guys. Don't know why I just saluted you, but peace out. God bless you and Dynasty.